What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. It is currently summer of 2023, at least the coaster season, so there has been a lot that has changed in the last few months. We have known a lot more about the rides coming out this year, but we have not focused a lot on some of the rides that are going to be coming out next year in 2024. And before it got a little too late in the season, I wanted to do a little bit of a recap of some of the parks that we could speculate on getting new coasters next year. These are my current guesses and predictions, and we will see in a few months if I end up getting these right. Some of these are basically confirmed at this point, while others are purely speculation, and we are only going to be staying in the United States for this selection to keep it simple. We are going to be looking at some of the demographics and some of the park teasers and see what parks could get coasters in 2024. So without further ado, this is Cedar Flags, and today we are going to be looking at what parks could possibly get coasters in 2024. So first, I want to talk about the parks that are basically confirmed at this point. The first one is Cedar Point. Now, if you don't know, they have had a massive advertising campaign recently talking about Top Thrill Dragster. So if you don't know, well, I have a whole series on it, but to recap, there is a massive Stratocoaster opened up in 2003 and closed in 2021 due to operational issues. But they have taken their part to remodel the ride and reopen it for the guests for a safer and more conventional experience. And with Cedar Point's teasing, we could only assume that this is going to come out in 2024. They have been pointing with the teasers, and they have been showing off-ride of Top Thrill Dragster while saying 2024. So, I'm basically going to assume that the new coaster is going to be taking place in 2024. I think that's going to be very interesting to see because Cedar Point will be adding 2 new coasters in a row. Another park I could see in the Cedar Fair chain getting a new coaster next year is, of course, Dorney Park. This is another one of those almost confirmed cases when we have been getting a lot of speculation from the park. Now, we don't know entirely what they are going to get, and we have seen some blueprints for it. With the exception of some speculation, we aren't really too confident on what's going to come here. The main rumor right now is a B&M dive coaster. Many people have been saying that because of the supports and the track layout compared to other B&M dives. But with the tiny space of this area, I don't know if that's 100% possible. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but this area of land is pretty small, so could we see a massive dive coaster here, or could we see a smaller alternative? Or could we see something that we don't even expect? Well, who knows? But those are 2 parks that are almost confirmed to get something. Now, let's look at some of the other parks that aren't necessarily confirmed yet. First, I want to look at Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville, Kentucky. They have recently gotten purchased by Herschend Family Entertainment, the same people that own parks like Silver Dollar City and Dollywood, and to say the least, this park is below a league. And with the popular area that Kentucky Kingdom is in, along with the surrounding cities, to say the least, they want to expand Kentucky Kingdom to be a Herschend-style park, and they are going to do all means necessary to do so. A few months ago, they actually closed T3, which even though it wasn't the most loved coaster in the world, it still did its job and a lot of people still lined up to ride it. And behind T3, there is to say the least a lot of empty land to spare. So, does Herschend want to build a new roller coaster in this area coming in 2024? Well, I could see without a doubt a new coaster coming here in the future, but 2024, is that all too realistic? Well, I honestly think so. Herschend has been expanding rapidly recently and has been adding a coaster every year at places, so I could easily see a major addition coming in the next upcoming year. But if it doesn't come out in 2024 and we wait till 2025, that seems pretty okay as well. When it comes to what coaster we could see here, I could see something like a modern Vekoma, or maybe even something like a small Vekoma launch coaster, something similar to what they added at Dollywood in Big Bear Mountain. Our next park, we don't have to go too far, it is Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. Now, this park has been doing a lot recently with the Giraffica plot of land. Now, if you have not been to Holiday World, there is a massive area in the back that is called Thanksgiving, and this area has a lot of empty land, especially with their SPNO, Pilgrim's Plunge, also known as Giraffica. Now, the ride itself is gone, but the trough that used to hold it and the station have been sitting there for years. It has been rumored that Holiday World is going to take this out and transform it into something else. So, could we be seeing a brand new coaster here? That is something I could honestly count on. Now, even though it might not come out in 2024, I could definitely see it coming out in 2025, if not the upcoming season. Finally, I want to talk about SeaWorld Orlando. Now, this is self-explanatory, it is in Orlando, Florida. And, just like some of the other SeaWorld parks in the recent history, we have seen a lot of teasing. And SeaWorld Orlando has seen no exception at all. Now, this is very early in the teasing, but SeaWorld has gotten a lot of coasters in the past few years. We have seen Icebreaker and Pipeline. But, knowing SeaWorld's current business strategy, could we see more? Well, personally, I think so. Now, this is rumored at least to be in the Penguin area of the park. It is going to be rumored, again, to be an intimate straddle coaster. Now, these are very similar to rides like Hagrid's at Islands of Adventure, and some of the other rides like Dark Coaster and Arctic Rescue that they have added in recent years at other SeaWorld parks. And, well, I think that this would be a really good expansion at SeaWorld Orlando as well. It has worked with all of the other SeaWorld parks that it has been added to, so could we see one of these in the near future? I really think so. With how much SeaWorld Orlando wants to focus on launch coasters and brand new coasters as a whole, I think that this would be one of the best fits, if not the best fit that could be at this park. Finally in this video, I want to talk about one more. Now, this is not a specific park, but I think next year, we are going to be seeing a massive coaster at a smaller park. Now, this isn't going to be to the scale of something like Air Force One, but I think, and mark my words, we are going to see something at least 100 feet at a random small amusement park that has never seen it before. Now, I don't know what this is going to be, but I definitely feel like it is going to happen in 2024. Let me know in the comments below if you could see that, or let me know in the comments below if you could see any of the parks that I mentioned previously. Heck, maybe I might do a part 2 on this series, because I'm very interested in seeing the future of coasters and the future of parks. So let me know what parks you think could get new coasters next year, and if you haven't already, check the links in the description below for merch and other coaster accounts. And until next time, this is Cedar Flags, and I'll see you all later.